want to say. And we shared a mutual friend. So I was like, okay. So I slid in their DM, and we talked back and forth for a little bit, and then she was straight up. She was like, send me a message. She was like, are you gonna ask me out? I went, okay. So I did. Yeah. I like the boldness,
Yeah.
So we went for a few drinks at happy hour, and she was great, and beautiful in person. I mean, we connected right away, and I thought everything was moving in the right direction. And then she told me, she was like she said, she was real straight up. She said, I gotta tell you something. And she said she's in an open relationship and that she's married, and her husband is in California.
Okay.
But she told me that he doesn't mind her dating, and then she asked me to go back to her house. And I don't know. I was totally hesitant, and I just didn't do it.
Was he? Does he live in California, or was he there on business?
She said her husband he lives in California, and he's not moving here, and she's not moving there. Yeah, and she said she's allowed to be in a relationship with anyone she likes, like if she's single. So.
Yeah, she sounds single to me. She's in an open relationship.
She's married, guys. I mean, I get it. They're in an open relationship, or she says they're in an open relationship, but how do we ever confirm that? He lives in California.
Did you ask your mutual friend what the situation is?
I did not even ask.
That's a good idea.
I mean, your mutual friend might know, but then your mutual friend, I don't know if you wanted to get them even involved.
Yeah, because I don't know how well we have a mutual friend, but I don't know how well they know, this particular part of the relationship. It was just really odd. I just didn't know what to do, so I kind of froze.
Yeah, because, I mean, if she is in an open relationship and nobody really knows that, then you look like you're running around and you're a homewrecker.
Okay, let me ask you this. How serious is their marriage? I mean, was she wearing a ring?
She was wearing a ring, and yeah, she said that it's serious and it's long distance, and I don't know, because I was like, it might have been fun to date her, but at the same time, if I ever want something, I don't know.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for not going. She invited you back to her place, and you didn't go. Good for you. I mean, that's good morals.
But Brian, do you want to be in an open relationship? Because, even if you're dating her and hooking up with her and moving furniture with her, you are essentially sharing her with another man too.
In California.
Yeah, but okay, let's say that you and I go out on a date, Manny, and you tell me that you are in an open relationship. That doesn't mean that I want to be in an open relationship.
Well, I get what you're saying. I mean, Brian...
I don't know that I could do, in my mind, share Dallas with another woman.
Right. I mean, would you be okay with that? Because here's another point to what Loren just said. Forget the guy in California. If she's in an open relationship, it might be you, the guy in California, and 4 other guys.
Right.
No, I don't know. I mean, I just know, the moment I heard married, that was already but then she said, so I already know I'm kind of hesitant about it, but so if it wasn't maybe, she's beautiful. Look, if she wasn't, with other men besides her husband, it was just me.
Yeah,
about it, but
got a couple text messages coming in from people that say that they are in an open relationship or they know someone who is in an open relationship, and they say you just have to treat it like it's just you and that person. The other people don't exist. Someone else says date if you just want to have fun. Dump if you want to get married. Hannah says I'm not the type of person to share someone. I couldn't do it, but I know some people that are in open relationships and they're okay with it. Someone says dump her if you catch feelings, you're screwed. That's the theme.
Someone texted and it said, if they're married in California, trust me, it's cheaper to keep her. California divorce is expensive for both couples. Oh, that's funny. Sorry.
I think the theme is that if you are looking for something short-term and to have a little fun, then date her. But if you are looking to catch feelings, then it's going to start getting a little more complicated.
I do too.
So then you have to dump her.
Mm-hmm.
So given this point right now that we're on the phone, what are you thinking? Are you thinking of something a little more serious, or are you thinking about just having some fun and dating her? Because that's your answer.
Got it. Okay, yeah, I was like maybe thinking about something serious over time, but I never thought about casual. And I don't know. So now I'm really thinking about options, you know?
Well, but people are saying, like, be careful, though, because if you go back out with her again, then you're going to end up catching feelings, most likely. Then it's going to get complicated. So most people are saying dump her, that like, if you're not okay with the open relationship and the fact that she's married, which, by the way, in all the dating or dump ones, I don't think we've ever had someone who was married.
I don't think so either.
I mean, it's crazy, but that's the world we live in. People are doing things, so...
They're doing things.
They're doing things. I mean, most people are saying you got to dump her and move on, okay?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
All right, Brian. See ya.
Good luck in the dating pool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, either dump her or move on, or date her and have fun. That's what people are saying. I love our audience.
Katie and Lorenzo, Kiss 95.1. Charlotte traffic.
Interstate's mighty slow in spots. Travel times definitely affected for 77 North coming out of South Carolina. Almost an hour from Highway 160 in Fort Mill to Uptown via 77 North. Still those delays for 77 South coming out of Statesville. They are construction related. On the secondaries, new problems. Beatty's Ford Road at Estelle Street. It's about halfway between Brookshire and I-85. Providence Road at Dartmouth Place. An accident in the Myers Park area.
I know I might be by myself out here on this island, but I actually...
What they do?
They gathered around.
You know, if I was the person who sold you the lottery ticket, I sell a lot of lottery tickets and smokes and Slim Jims and bags of Pickles Laces. Lamar rolls in and says, I actually won on that lottery ticket, and hands me a $100 bill. I'm pretty happy about that, honestly.
Take the missus out. I say take the missus out for dinner.
I stand by the assessment that as an incentive to sell lottery tickets, they give them a portion of whoever wins
They
if
do.
it's purchased at your place. That's who should be paying the person that sold you the ticket.
But it's the convenience store that gets the money, not the employee who's at the register.
Well, I'm
now, this
saying-
was Ampex.
They
Here's what I think. Here's what I think. We are the losingest group of people in the history of losing.
Yeah.
We have no chance of winning a thin nickel. Okay? So we should probably go ahead and give ourselves some grace here. Because we ain't winning nothing, so we ain't tipping nothing to nobody know how.
Nobody know how.
He didn't pick the numbers. He didn't pick them.
And this one, Mr. Generosity Thurston Howell doesn't even buy lottery tickets, so how the hell he thinks he's winning the lottery other than by a miracle? I mean, you gotta buy the ticket. Like, oh, my head hurts.
It's a fantasy. That's all. I was just saying that's what I would do if I had purchased the ticket and that's it. Well,
I have a fantasy too. Involves
congratulations
Ryan Gosling, and I think
to
I'm
the
gonna
vet. Congratulations to the vet. I'm not gonna listen to any more of these insults. It's Bob and Sherry.
Check out the improved K104.7 app. You could win $1,000.
Mr. Pastor, you just won 1,000.
My coffee is gross this morning, and I keep drinking it. If something's disgusting, you throw it out. You don't keep going back to the well. That's disgusting. That's kind of like, I don't know, if you have high interest credit cards and you keep paying the interest over and over again without doing anything about it.
Rules and info at K.
Staying asleep at some point. And there are a lot of products and hacks claiming to be the solution to our sleepless nights. That's why this
is wait for service. Charlotte chooses Patterson because we get there fast. Right now, service calls are only $78.
It's a huge drop.
Equity Express line of credit.
Sounds like a girl's night.
Try another 400. We're burning rubber.
See, now that, no, it's still bad. I was just going to say it tastes better that time, but it didn't. If you still have a mortgage rate in the threes, you can use Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit program to get the cash you need and just leave your primary mortgage intact, all right? It's Loan...
The select
5093.
Ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor.
Hit up Loan Pronto.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it. I want it to be you. I guess I'm selfish. Can't fight it. You're running
Justin Timberlake and Selfish. It is Liz and Chris. Wednesday morning, time for the Wednesday birthday list and the other stuff that goes with the birthdays. And we always start things off with Liz.
All right, today is March 13th. You're celebrating a birthday. You're a Pisces, and your horoscope says focus on your finances and domestic goals today. Remember that prosperity usually can't be rushed, considering these small steps that will amount to your ideal bigger picture. Just be mindful to touch base with your gratitude, appreciating the life you built and those who fill it. You'll feel most at peace in the comfort of home later tonight as you gather with family.
Okay.
Today is National Jewel Day. It is National Good Samaritan Day. It's World Riesling Day.
It's your day, Liz.
Yeah, it is. And it's National Chicken Noodle Soup Day.
Ooh, Liz is going to be partying at home. Celebrating today, NBA baller Tristan Thompson is 33. Adam Clayton from U2 is 64. Actress...
Between the tangible and the inexplicable fades, there is a peculiar moment that has captured the imagination of many. 3 a.m. In that mysterious corner of time, it is said that the barrier between the divine and the earthly stretches until it almost disappears. It is in this magical and enigmatic hour that Nikola Tesla suggested that God could whisper cosmic secrets to us. Prepare to explore the mysteries that awaken when the hands of the clock point to a moment where reality intertwines with the divine. What happens in the silence of the early morning? Why is this time chosen for the celestial connection? Join us on a journey through the midnight mysteries, where time and space interweave in a celestial dance full of cosmic intrigue and hidden revelations. Tesla was a man of enormous talent and vision. His contributions to science and technology extend far beyond alternating current. He invented the induction motor and the Tesla coil, and was also a pioneer in areas such as radio, robotics, and radio frequency energy. His work has paved the way for many of the advances we take for granted today. It is not just his scientific genius that makes Tesla a fascinating figure. He was also known for his sleeping rituals. Tesla practiced what is known as polyphasic sleep, sleeping only 2 hours a night and taking short naps during the day. He believed that this rhythm of sleep allowed him to make the most of his energy and creativity. The title, "This is Why God Wakes You Up at 3 in the Morning," may seem a little mysterious at first glance. However, when understood through the lens of Tesla's beliefs and practices, it takes on new meaning. Tesla believed that waking up at 3 in the morning was a time of great power and potential. Tesla's theory of waking up at 3 in the morning is rooted in his understanding of energy and vibrations. He believed that at this time, the mind is in its most receptive and creative state, allowing it to access ideas and solutions that would otherwise remain hidden. Tesla used this time of stillness and concentration to work on his inventions and theories, a practice he maintained was key to his incredible productivity. Nikola Tesla had a peculiar theory about waking up at 3 in the morning. He believed that this time of day was especially conducive to creativity and innovation. According to him, the tranquility and stillness of the early morning allowed his mind to clear and focus on his brightest ideas. Waking up at 3 in the morning also has spiritual meaning for many. It is considered the hour of the soul, a time when the veil between the physical world and the spiritual world is thinnest. Tesla, who was very spiritual, saw this moment as an opportunity to connect with the highest energies of the universe. Numerology also has something to say about waking up at 3 in the morning. The number 3 is considered sacred in many cultures and religions. It represents the Trinity, creation, and manifestation. Perhaps Tesla, aware of this meaning, found in this schedule an additional source of inspiration and connection with the universe. Tesla firmly believed in divine energy. He thought that everything in the universe is connected through this energy.
This is green, this is red, and this is blue. But how can you tell what you're seeing as blue is the exact same thing as what I see as blue? We've named the colors to give us a way to communicate and reference them. But in reality, there's no way of knowing what you see is the same as what another person sees. Even with the small steps and the giant leaps we've made as a species, there's still a lot to learn about Earth life, and the human condition, there's still everything we don't know. On the 26th of February 2015, one picture of a dress divided the internet.
Oh, it just changed the way.
While some saw it as gold and white, others saw it as blue and black. And ever since then, there's been a number of repetitions of the same experiment, either using the same sense, in this case sight, or even other senses, like hearing, in the famous Yanny or Laurel debate. These experiments remind us that there's no way for us to tell that you and I sense the same things. What I call red might just be what you call blue, and there might be someone out there who sees human beings with purple teeth, but just refers to it as white. 71% of the entire Earth is covered by water. Humans are made up of about 60% water. Potatoes, 80%. Watermelons, 93%. And cucumbers, 95%. It's very clear that water is essential for life on Earth, but we really don't know that much about water, not even about the very oceans we came from. In fact, we've only explored 5 to 10% of the Earth's oceans. The rest, well, who knows what's down there? It's even scarier when you realize that fish, like the blobfish and the barreled eye fish, belong to the slim percent of things that we've already discovered. The deeper you go, the crazier things seem to get. What's at the bottom of the ocean? For the most part, we just don't know. But back on the surface, countries that are bordered by water use something called coastlines to mark their territory. The coast is the land along the sea, and the boundary between the coast and the sea is known as a coastline. So, how long is the US coastline, or any other coastline in the world? The answer is, well, again, we don't really know. Coastlines constantly curve and cut in and out. Even the smallest deviations from a straight line can add distance, and over time, these small distances add up. Some of these features are
should not invite this person to the wedding doesn't make you the a-hole.
Yikes, that's pretty rough.
Usher, you're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Going to be the mild weather will continue. Tomorrow's the warmest day. We could tickle 80 degrees. Might be a little high cloud. Other than that, it's sunshine today, 72. Tonight, clear 45. Tomorrow, sunny, near 80. Probably going to be in the upper 70s, but near 80 sounds better. Friday, a few showers, thunder showers. On the weekend, well, it looks 50-50. Dry Saturday, maybe some showers on St. Patty's Day. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick at the Weather Channel, and now back to Timeless Music, 95.7 FM. The Ride.
Sister, what have you
loser. And that's exactly how I felt. And then a very weird thing happened. After a few months, for the first time in my life, I started to feel like I belonged. I had meaning and I had purpose. Hi everyone, thank you so much for your very kind welcome. I really appreciate that. And I've shaken hands with a whole bunch of you, and I'm always grateful when anyone comes up and says hi, says what you do has made a difference in my life. I'm very grateful to that. I'm very grateful to you. Thank you. When I say I want to live tiny, whether that is a Prius, a bicycle, or one of the nicest 600 square feet tiny homes you've ever seen, my decision to live tiny makes sense. And I can explain to you in good logical reasons why I am and why I think you should consider it, at least. And so that's what I want to talk about today. It's the why, the philosophy of tiny living. So let's first define, what does tiny living mean? Now, if we went around and polled different people, we'd get all kinds of different answers. Here is my definition. Living in a tiny home is an attitude. It's a cry of your heart. It's a predisposition of your heart to something smaller, simpler, more natural than what most people are living. I believe that living tiny is a normal, natural, healthy response to a world of more, bigger, better, I gotta have more. Before World War II, the average size of a home was about 1,000 square feet. Now it was up at 2,000, and it grows every decade. I think it's like 3,000 or 4,000 now, the average size of an American home. It's really amazing. They're just bigger and bigger and bigger. People are wanting bigger and more, and the only reason they are limited to that small size, 3,000 square feet, is because that's all they can afford. No, that's all the credit they have. If they had more credit, it would be 4,000 or 5,000. Credit holds us down to a reasonable 3,000 square foot home for one or two people. There is a natural, normal way that humans should live. I think there's an objective standard. Now, I've introduced this by saying we're all different, and there is no objective standard. And so if I say something too firmly, you can say that doesn't apply to me. But I'm welcoming to that. But I believe there is an objective standard of how humans should live, and that is tiny. In 1995, I was married, had 2 kids, living the American dream, which for me was a nightmare. And I went through a divorce. At the end of the divorce, my wife had stayed home with our kids to homeschool. She had not worked. So it's hard. I worked all my life in a grocery store, at a union store. I was a union clerk. I made a good wage. I had a good retirement. I had good health care. But I was at kind of in the bottom middle of the socioeconomic. And without my ex-wife working, we were at the very bottom of the medium, the middle class. So when the divorce happened, I couldn't afford to live. I could not afford to pay for that household and create a new household for me to move in. I'd been a backpacker and a hiker all my life. I could live out of a backpack, and I drove home. I went to work every day and drove home, and every day I drove past a van, old beat-up box van. And I've lived out of a backpack for months. I can live out of a van. So one day I stopped, and I bought the van, and that day I bought it, it was $1,500. And this was 1995. So money was worth more then, but $1,500 is a really cheap van. Had a good solid engine, but it was ugly. I moved in and slept in it that night. So I'm going through the divorce, we're fighting about the kids, we're fighting about everything. Name it, we're fighting about it. Particularly the kids, which is the only thing that really counts. And I was miserable beyond words. Some of you have gone through divorce, so I won't do a show of hands. And so you understand how devastating divorce should be to your heart, your mind, and your life. And my first night sleeping in this van, I just parked on a corner. I just bought the van, threw down, I bought a sleeping pad, a sleeping bag, and that was my first night of van life, and it was not glamorous. And I cried myself to sleep that night, and I thought to myself, what a loser I am at life. I am everything that society says I should not be. I'm homeless. I'm living in my vehicle on the street corner, and I have no future of being anywhere but homeless, living in this van on the street corner. And I kept working the same job. Every morning I went to work, and it was a good job. I got paid well for the time, but because there was only one income, I lived in Anchorage, Alaska. So when it got down to 30 below, I really knew I was a hopeless loser. Bob Wells, loser. And that's exactly how I felt. And then a very weird thing happened. After a few months, I tore out all the shelving, I built a bed, I brought in my recliner. Bringing in the recliner in a box van is really, really a joy. Then my heart started to feel a whole lot better when the recliner was in there. And so the kids came and spent the weekends with me. I built bunk beds. I bought a big 32-inch big tube. You know, back in 1995, there were no flat screens. So it was this huge 32-inch TV because they had to play PlayStation. But a very weird thing happened.